Hello and welcome to part 2 of the semi-official playthrough of Sokoban the RPG. It's still dark and we are about to venture into the woods. The puzzles will get a little bit trickier from this point onwards, but not so much in the beginning. Alright. So this one is basically thinking about how would I start. So this one can only go up, and you can't really push the boulder to my left to the side because it would block the other one in. You kind of have to do this and this, and then this last final sequence isn't too hard to see. So that was quite quick still. Well, it looks like this is there's another set of puzzles. No, it's not raining very hard. I can feel my clothes slowly getting soaked. It might be best if I just hurry and solve all of them. I'm sure eventually I will reach a building of some sort. Maybe I'll finally find help there as well. Alright, so as I said before, if you have one of these corners, you can basically always put boulder in for free. Yeah, so this one, there isn't a whole lot going on here. You can basically just put these in, and then this one. Still fairly straightforward. Again, I wonder what makes the doors respond to the position of the boulders. I mean, in a dungeon, I could imagine some mechanism hidden inside the walls, but this is just ridiculous. It's like magic. Oh, how I long to be back in the dry and warm dungeon. I'm starting to freeze out here. If you're starting to freeze now, you're in for something in a little bit. Okay, so this puzzle, this isn't terribly difficult. There's just a lot of walking, so you kind of want to practice your running here. This one used to be a little bit longer, but one of my friends who playtested it was like, this puzzle is lame and boring. Please reduce the length of this thing. So I did. I made it one boulder shorter. So yeah, you need to walk a lot of, yeah, there's a great distance to get the boulders where they need to be. But then it's actually fairly easy to do it. You can basically see the order immediately. Like, you don't want to put it down here just yet, because then of course you can't push them to the side anymore. This one remains here, and then you push this one in last. Alright. So this is a nice little puzzle. So first you need to push this one down. You can push this one to the side, and this one is a little bit stuck here, so you just push it out. Because once you've pushed it out, you can basically fill this up, and it looks like the path is blocked, but it isn't really, because you can push it to the side, and then you fill the space in. And that was another save. Very well. Let's continue. This one. Again, the goal positions aren't intertwined with the puzzle. So basically once you get the boulders moving, you're done. And you do it like this. Push it up. Whoops. Just push them up. No worries. Just a little bit careful not to mess anything up, and you can push them out without too much effort, but still a little bit of effort. I like this upbeat track. It's supposed to motivate the player. I hope it's working. So this puzzle, it looks very intimidating at first. How are you going to put all these boulders back to where they were? Just move this single one. So the idea is, of course, to move as few as you can. and to move and to observe that you have this little space here. So if you see that, then there's, if you combine all your observations, you should see this quite quickly. And I almost forgot to check this out. What do we have here? The grave reads the following. In loving memory of Herbert Anderson. And you found this. I don't know this gentleman, but I guess 61 is a decent age. Yeah. Sadly, I will have to solve the puzzle again. Oops. But you know, not the end of the world. Fun fact, it's actually still possible if you remove this square here, but it will be very difficult to see the solution. And it's easy to put it in a configuration where you can't do it anymore. Next puzzle. A little bit tricky. Need to see how you need to start. So first you do this, just to create some space. Put this one up. You can't put it in here yet, because of course then you would no longer be able to get behind here. So you need to move one of these first, and this is still fine, right? You still move around, but we can get this one out of the way, and then this one here, and now we're basically done. So again, yeah, you need to start paying attention to the puzzle at this stage in the game, I think. So this one is actually quite tricky. There's a lot going on here, if you play it for the first time. So first you need to observe that if you put any block down here, you can't get it back out, but also you can't get a block up here. So you first need to fill these up, and then you will be able to put these down here in. But you also need to be careful that you can actually still move. Like he still needs to go down, and so this is all fine. So now we have all the room in the world, and we're done. But you need to do it just right. And you need to be careful not to block yourself in, especially near the edges. Okay, tricky puzzle, tricky puzzle. And we get a safe spot. How kind of the developer. Still dark. Very small puzzle. Change of music. Very, again, a very upbeat track. Quite happy. How would we start? We need to be careful not to block ourselves in. I guess this is a good way of doing that. Then I don't want to push the bottom one back, so the top needs to be pushed to the side. And you see, okay, I can finish it. Alright, so this is a pretty large puzzle. But it's, again, this is one of those cases where it seems complicated at first, but in reality, it isn't really that hard. You can see that, like, you can essentially slide these in via the top immediately, without effort. But this one is the hard one. So you do that one first. And then you can basically fill it up. Yeah, so this one was hard because you needed to actually use these two spaces, which means it has to come first. And these are easy, so these can just come at the end. Alright. Nicely, almost symmetric puzzle. What can we do? There's not a lot of stuff we can do without trapping ourselves. But this is one of them. Push it into the corner. Might be a good idea. maybe push another one into the corner. Just clear up some space. So now we need to be careful. This one can go here. Now we're no longer able to move anything out of this area. So we need to focus on this area. So we cannot push this boulder to the left here. But we can push it to the right and we'll be fine. Alright. So, again, looks very complicated. All the boulders are positioned neatly away from the goals. It's very dark, very quiet, except for the music. So this is a good example of not to do it. I need to think about this. So as you can see, this area is pretty much blocked in. The only hope you have of getting this boulder out is to, come from the bottom. So you need that space to be clear. And now you're basically done. So yeah, the order. And save. A very small puzzle. Might be good to remember the solution for this one. Push this to the side. This one here, I actually don't know the solution on the top of my head. I don't think this is quite right. Let's see, this one here maybe? It's just tricky. There isn't a clear order of things you can follow here. I don't think I did it right. Let's restart. So this one needs to go down. Ah, you just put it here. And now it looks like you're in trouble, but in reality, you aren't. Cool. Fooled myself again. I haven't played this game in too long. It's an old looking well. Its walls are swathed? See, don't know how you pronounce that. In a cloth of darkness. But if you stretch your body, you might be able to peek inside. Take a look. Yes. Beautiful picture of cloudy sky above you. The moon is especially pretty tonight. A full moon right there. Interesting. So what do I have here? So as you can see, I need to be on this side when I open it up. But in order to get from this side back to the exit side, I need at least 3 open spots. So we need to find a way to get 3 boulders in this side, and this is the way to do it. So then we can do this. This, and we just fill it up. This is a very large puzzle, but not necessarily very difficult. As long as you refrain from filling this one up, you can basically just fill it up from the bottom. But it's good to observe that you need to move this one in order to move anything down. Because all the boulders will need to come in through here. it's filling up nicely. So now we want to get this one out, but we can't quite walk around this one. But we can't quite put this one down because then we block ourselves in. So for a short while we need to put this one here and this down. So now we can actually start taking things out very easily. And now it's basically just labor. Nothing particularly hard. A lot of walking. This is why I want to know that running is a thing. There we go. Last one. There. And of course, after such a long puzzle, we will get a save. Still dark. So again, first observation, nice little area to put the first block. Can never hurt. So you can see that you can basically put these two in here at all times. But the problem is that we don't want to block that off right away, because these are still in a bit of a nasty spot. So you can get the bottom one out like this. Walk all the way around like this. Now you get the other one off this. All the way around again. Now I can just fill everything up. Alright, that was this one. This one, first of all, fill up the thing. So this one is kind of two puzzles in one. Now you have this side, which has a small interesting thing, and you have the other side, which basically means that you have to move this one first so that you can fill this spot. You also mustn't be too quick about things, because you also need to fill this spot. And you need to do this. So you needed this one to be not in position in order to push this one down. And now we look at the other side of the puzzle and we see these two very particular positions. So we can push this one up, has to happen. When you've pushed that one up, you can push this one down. And then now only this one has to go up. Unfortunately, we can't just push this to the side and back. Very well. Yeah, so this puzzle is quite big, and frankly, it's also quite tricky. So the first things you can do is just fill up these corners. That's not always completely safe, but in this case it is. And now you need to be careful. You need to open up some kind of path. And let's open up this one. And while we're at it, let's open this one for real. So we want to leave this one here as long as possible. It's not harming anything. So like the big trick is to put this one here, in that precise location. And why? Because then we will be able to put this one to the side. Because you can see we have access to this square area from the bottom and from this. So anything that's off these two lines is hard, and anything that's on these two lines is easy. And I'm doing this, and you see that if this one is filled, it's impossible to get a boulder here. So that's why we put this one in here first, and then we fill up the rest. Put this one here, so we can move this one out. Put here. So now we're making some real nice space, walking all the way around. Get this one out. Here. Now this one can go there as well, and we're done. Right. Ooh, building. Ah, finally I'm inside. I'm absolutely soaked to the bone. And since it was a little windy outside, it was freezing cold. Here it is nice and cozy. Maybe I'll stay here for a while. Warm up again. Maybe see if there's a phone or something to call someone with. I do not remember anyone's phone number. I could call the police, I guess. That would probably suffice. Let's explore around this place. It looks pretty old and abandoned though. I should not have my hopes up too high. So yeah, what do we have? A door? It's locked. Look who it is. It's our old friend. Door is locked. Flower's fragrance is something you find remarkably difficult to place. But there's something rather soothing to it. Good day, Lewis. It's you again, the guy from the ballroom. The fact that you remember me should have been more flattering, although provided the circumstances, I reckon I couldn't have asked for much more. How did you get here before me? Is there another way? Can you help me out? You're again in a hurry. What a pity. Sir, I am deeply sorry, but I really have no clue what's going on here. Could you please explain? It wouldn't be any fun, would it? Now, to get down to business... Cut the know-it-all act already. I am lost. You can help. Why don't you help me? I want to go home. Home, you say? And where in the world would it be? I'm not really sure. I kind of suffer from amnesia. I'm afraid you will have to be a little bit more specific, my child. There's only one way I could send you at the moment. And where might it be? Through the door in the back, of course. Please be a little bit more observant, young lady. Why would I want to go there? It's probably full of those lame puzzles anyway. Your phrasing is most amusing. Speaking of puzzles, before I will let you out of here, I have a puzzle for you to solve. Not again. I'm afraid so. With me, I have a special device that is linked to every item in this room. It keeps track of a certain number, which I like to call the magic number. Interacting with the objects will change the magic number in a certain way, and I will leave it to you to figure out in exactly what way the system works. The magic number will start at 5. It is your job to get it down to 1. When you have succeeded in doing so, I will hand you over the key to the exit. Of course, just like last time, I will provide you with a small hint. The magic number can never exceed a certain number. Now go and come talk to me when you hear your magic number. Try to figure out the system. I'm confident you will be capable of doing so. One last thing, the plant next to me can be used to reset your magic number to 5, should your current magic number have become very large. Good luck and have fun. I guess the only way to leave this weird cabin is to solve his puzzle again. I wonder if he was the one who set up the code cracking puzzle as well. Alright. So, the magic number. I think it was 25. So you can see that it multiplies the magic number by 5. And this same pitch does the same thing. So these all multiply by 5. If a different pitch multiplies by 3. This is a new one. I wonder what that one does. 56? How did it get there? This one multiplied by 2. So this would mean 20, 40, 80, 160, 320. Let's take a look what we have. 121. That's 199 less than it should be. But I must get it down to 1. So maybe I need to get it to 200. And then 199 less. Or actually get it to 1. So maybe I need to get to 25, 50, 100, 200. Would you look at that? We solved it. He hands us a key to the exit. Thanks, I will be going now. May your paths cross again, Lewis. Ah, but we're not going through your door. Let's take a look what we have here. Let's see if this key works. And it actually does. This is absurd. Only a few meters behind me, the cabin entrance should be located. So how is there suddenly this much water? It could be that the trees hid it from my sight. I guess it's the only sensible explanation. But I still find it odd that there's a cliff next to me. It should have been a wooden wall. Maybe the cabin has been partially constructed underground? The grave reads the following. In loving memory of Charlotte Garner. We have found peace. You're sad. She wasn't given such a long life. I remember seeing a grave before that read Colin Garner. He was only a few years older than her. And they've been married? There's also been siblings. Given that they died in the same year, there's a fair chance that they went together in some sort of tragic event. What a terrible thought. There's more land on the other side, but there's no possible way for me to reach it from here. Wait, now I recognize this place. I've been on the other side before, but how on earth? It feels like I've traveled such a long distance. How can it be that I've only moved so little? This is really strange. Something is definitely not right here. Very peculiar. You saw a puzzle. Now you can go. I know. What's this? It's a letter addressed to Colin Garner. Read it? Yes. Dear Colin, I gladly accept your invitation, and I shall try to arrive in timely fashion. About your proposal, I must admit I was initially taken aback by your train of thought. I would love to hear your sources, as you can imagine. You must understand that I will have to firmly address the issue of such seemingly baseless accusations spreading around, especially in these desperate times. I find it also rather crude of you to speak of such unheard practices in such a mundane fashion. Suffice it to say, I am no longer in possession of your enclosed letter. Having said that, I would like a moment alone with you during your party to talk through a thing or two. I request you have this exact letter with you at the party and to hand it back to me when I see fit. You should not take this personally, it's merely a precaution. One cannot be careful enough these days. Confidential information and delicate issue are not to be taken lightly. I reckon you must understand this perfectly well. In short, I would like to discuss your proposal in person and the implications this has on your career. I'll see you next Friday. Best wishes, Anderson. You took the letter with you. Let's go. Right. So that was the first half of the woods. Might be a good moment to end the episode. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's been a little bit helpful for you. And yeah, let's continue in the second half of the woods in the next episode. So thanks for watching, and